Let's look more closely at what we need to do before the interview. There are 5 tasks that will be helpful. You need to have researched the opportunity, prepared yourself mentally and materially, anticipated questions, rehearsed your answers, and trained your body to relax. Let's take a look at each of these in turn. Research is your first task. Hopefully you will have done some of that research in order to write your cover letter and adapt your resume. Review this research, but go a little deeper. As you do research on the organization, the industry, the position, and the people you'll be meeting, note down any details that appeal to you. Note also any details that you find worrisome. Conduct more research on the organization by visiting its website. Learn about its size, its structure, its locations, its products and services. Read its mission statement to understand its values. By visiting related industry websites, you can gain valuable insight into the challenges your prospective employer may be facing. And finally, by visiting professional or occupational websites, you can learn more about the challenges of the job. Hopefully, when you schedule the interview, you'll learn the name of the people you'll be meeting. If so, scoot over to LinkedIn or Google the names of your interviewers and begin to form an impression of the people you might end up working alongside. Your next task is to prepare to be mentally and materially ready, and there are several items within this preparatory task. First, prepare a detailed T analysis that compares the job duties with your background and remind yourself of how you fit. Many of the interview questions will be targeting aspects of this fit. Also, prepare a detailed list of your top 10 accomplishments relevant to this job and brainstorm all of the associated skills that you might have gained from them. Listing and detailing these accomplishments prior to your interview increases your chances of finding the right example when asked during the interview. Prepare questions that you want to ask your interviewer. Remember that one of your goals is to assess whether or not this is a job you want. So what questions do you have that your research has made you curious about? Craft a short list of 5 to 7 questions that you can ask your interviewer. Aim to ask open-ended questions that help you learn more about the job, the organization, the industry, and the people. Finally, prepare your clothing and any accessories you need to bring along, such as a clipboard, your notes, a few copies of your resume and cover letter. Inside your clipboard, make sure you detail any aspects of the interview you know about, such as what kind of interview you can expect, who will be interviewing you, and where you need to be at what time. Now that you have a strong foundation, your next major task is to anticipate what questions you might be asked. Review your T analysis again and think more deeply about the daily challenges of the job. Reflect on the demands of the organization and the industry in which it operates. What questions do you think you might get asked? Most questions will fall into one of 3 categories. How are you qualified? Why are you interested? And how are you a fit with our organization? Next task, rehearse. Rehearsal is as important to you, the interviewee, as it is to an actor going on stage. You need to know your lines. And though you don't want to memorize your answers, you do want to rehearse them to the point that you feel comfortable and open telling your stories, especially stories that are well organized and provide sufficient details. You can do this in a variety of ways. To give yourself feedback, you can rehearse in front of a mirror and observe your body language. Alternatively, invite a trusted friend over for a coffee, and he can be your interviewer and give you helpful feedback. Another possibility is to record yourself on your phone or your computer, then critique yourself as honestly as you can. Just remember to notice what you did right as well as what you can do better. If time allows, by all means, book a mock interview with a staff member in the Academic Advising and Career Center. We can tailor the interview for your job and give you some very specific feedback. One last pre-interview task is to start to practice relaxation techniques. As soon as you get the call, as soon as you've scheduled that interview into your calendar, aim to build in at least 5 minutes of daily deep breathing, visualization, and mindfulness practice. In this way, you can build a habit of focus, calm, and confidence. Later on in this presentation, I will give you tips on managing nerves as well as an 8-minute visualization that you can practice daily. The Interview Ready webpage also hosts YouTube videos that provide tips on how to combat normal interview stress.